Hi, Knysna West Bible Church kids. It's Auntie Janet again. I've sent you one story from our Sunday school lessons. That was really for last week. But today I want to tell you one more story to catch us up on our curriculum for our Sunday school story so that you're not behind. I hope everyone's doing well. Hello to Ahukle, Jesse, Tim, Mac Ewan, and Haley. Today we have another story about the prophet Elijah. And we're going to review our big picture question today, again because our story is going to remind us about our one true God. Our theme for this section is how many gods are there? There is one true God who alone deserves our worship. And our verse for this section again, before I tell you our story, is from Isaiah chapter 42, verse 8. I am the Lord, that is my name, and I will not give my glory to another or my praise to idols. Isaiah 42, verse 8. Maybe if you have some time over the lockdown, you can learn this verse with mom and dad. Our story today is also about the prophet Elijah, the same prophet we learned about last week. But this story comes from 2 Kings chapter 2. And it's the story about when Elijah was coming to the end of his life here on earth, and he needed to find someone who would follow him in the work and be another prophet after him. And you must listen carefully because their names sound very similar. There's Elijah and Elisha. Here's the story from 2 Kings chapter 2. God told the prophet Elijah to find a man named Elisha. Elisha would be a prophet to Israel after Elijah. So Elijah obeyed God. He went looking for Elisha, and he found him plowing a field and told Elisha, "Please follow me." Elisha followed Elijah and served him. When the time came for the Lord to take Elijah up to heaven, Elijah and Elisha traveled to a city called Gilgal. At Gilgal, Elijah said, "Elisha, you stay here. The Lord is sending me on to the city of Bethel." But Elisha said, "As long as you are alive, I will not leave you." So they went together to Bethel. At Bethel, Elijah said, "Elisha, stay here. The Lord is sending me to Jericho." But Elijah said, "As long as you are alive, I will not leave you." So they went together to Jericho. At Jericho, Elijah said, "Elisha, you must stay here. The Lord is sending me to the Jordan River." But Elisha said, "As long as you are alive, I will not leave you." So they went together to the Jordan River. A crowd of prophets watched Elijah and Elisha as they stood by the river. Elijah rolled up his cloak and he hit the water with it. The river parted and opened up, and Elijah and Elisha crossed to the other side. Elijah looked at Elisha and said, "Is there anything I can do for you before I go?" Elisha said, "I want a double portion of the spirit that you have." Elijah said, "If you see me go, then you will have this double portion." Suddenly, a chariot of fire with horses of fire appeared. It came down and drove between Elijah and Elisha. The chariot picked up Elijah, and Elijah went up into heaven in a whirlwind. Elisha watched as Elijah went away. Then he picked up Elijah's cloak and went back to the river Jordan. He hit the water, and it parted and opened for him so he could cross to the other side, just like it had done for Elijah. The crowd of prophets was there watching, and they saw that the spirit that was with Elijah was now with Elisha. The prophets searched for Elijah, but they could not find him, since God had taken him up to heaven in the chariot of fire. God gave Elisha the same spirit that was in Elijah, so that Elisha could carry out his mission as a prophet. Years later, Jesus told his followers to wait for the Holy Spirit. God gives believers the Holy Spirit so that they can share the gospel with the world. That's our story today about Elijah and Elisha, and it reminds us that there is only one true God who alone deserves our worship. It was good to be able to tell you a story today. I hope all of you are safe. I miss you, and we'll see you soon.